rising Venus signs, welcome to your 8-card draw. What do I need? Shadow read for this full to new moon in August 2022. I am your reader. Mars conjunct Venus in Libra, 3rd house. Mark, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998, 24 years in service, folks. Author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle, link in the description box. You can preview it for free, and a lot of that came from what I learned over 2 years at that point when I wrote the book, so check it out if you want a free preview. And I'm a creator on Patreon, patreon.com/drawingthecircle, smartest career move I ever made. I'm there streaming every morning to my humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, and goddesses with a cup of coffee with my hair doing what it's going to do, talking about the day's astrological weather, the spiritual implications, the magical applications, in a bathrobe, really having a field day. And as I'm going to be moving my home in the next couple of months, they are going to really get a lot of the inside tea on stuff and a lot of exclusive content. So if you want more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come Patreon on Patreon. And someday the world will understand what I mean when I say it, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hi, my leaves. Hey, my darlings, my 7th housers, the romantics, the mentally romantics of the Zodiaxia Cardinal heirs. If you're new to the channel, excuse me, an 8-card draw. It used to be a 7-card draw, but I got a new deck. Okay. I'm going to go out on an intuitive limb and say that there's some throat chakra stuff going on here, because I have not been coughing all day long. So that was just here and now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let me start that again. If you are new to the channel, 8-card draw is just one card from 8 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline, a full to new in August 2022. Therefore, a timed reading, not a timeless reading. And certainly you can go back and look at the previous 7-card, now 8-card draws for the past to get some clarity on a waning cycle, a letting go or releasing, as well as the 5-card draws that I do for the new to full. Plant a seed at new and help it grow to full. Let's look at the timeline, shall we? Full moon in Aquarius, Thursday, August 8th, 9:36 p.m. And I'm in New York, so that is Eastern time. And by the way, a full moon on an Aquarius on Thursday has got so many magical applications. Jupiter day, a jeudi. Thursday is ruled by the planet Jupiter, so it's sort of Zeus kind of energy. You add that Jupiterian expansion to Aquarius, fixed air sign. Whew, there could be a lot of visions that day. Let's put it that way, amongst other applications. But then we're looking at the releasing, the letting go, the forgiving, the releasing, you know, the fun shit. The shadow work, the spiritual alchemy from lead to gold, because lead has 3 more atoms than gold on the periodic table. So it's a process of waning, dissolving, transforming, forgiving, let going. Those 3 toxic, those 3 atoms to go from toxic to healthy, pain to peace, light to shadow. I think you get the deal. And as you do, you shift timelines from more leaded to more golden timelines in terms of happiness, health, wealth, the fulfillment of your divine plan, your sacred contracts, and all that jazz. There are chakras involved. We'll talk about it because we are going to be hitting the new moon in Libra on Saturday, August 27th, 4:17 a.m. We get to wake up on a Saturn day, an Earth planet day, with Virgo, immutable Earth, moon sign. That's great for a new moon to maybe quite literally plant a seed. I know it's a little late in the season, but it's still August, you know. You could plant some mums or something, you know, and add a little significance, a little symbolic, whatever to that, but we'll get there when I do the 5-card draws. So, it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Standard YouTube reading rules apply. Check your other signs to get more insight on the timeline we are about to look at, or if you know your sun, moon, rising, Venus in any combination, or that, then maybe you have different ways of looking at it, as well as maybe different areas of the garden to weed. Course in Miracles says that tend your corner of the garden, right? Your energy field, your life, your stuff, because that affects every other garden, right? So as you're shifting timelines from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, restriction to freedom, etc., on and on and on, you'll be doing that for everyone on planet Earth, because infinite variations of quantum timelines. Oy. So, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath, if you will. And I promise I will give you the best that I can, the guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power that comes through me from my pantheons of the divine and these pieces of cardboard through YouTube to you for the well-being of all. Deal? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, the angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of the general assembly, the higher selves of all involved, fifth dimension above, eighth chakra and above, the spirit animals and totems, Lord Ganesh himself, and the pantheons of all pantheons, all traditions, lineages, and cultures. Please, one card in clarity from the Caroline Myss archetype deck, defining the soul archetype in the 8th chakra, beaming down the patterns, the lessons, the codes to every other chakra and energy system within them, affecting what they attract and repel from them, electromagnetism, obviously, so they can do the appropriate shadow work and shift it from lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, and all that jazz. This full to new August 2022, the Advocate, and I know a lot of Libran advocates. It is the action family archetype. There are 9 different families, so this is how you learn how to develop your power of action in the world, different than the masculine family. I know there's some overlap there for sure. But the Advocate is really lovely in its light and really toxic in its shadow, like every other archetype. They're all neutral. Think of it as a percentage scale from lead to gold. What's your percentage of lead to gold? Sometimes we don't access certain things in life until we have, let's say, a 60-40 gold to lead ratio in a particular area of our lives. It's the language of spiritual alchemy, so it's not literal. It's not literal. So the shadow attribute written on the card is what you don't want to look at, what you don't want to deal with, and if you are looking at it, dealing with it, you don't want anybody else to know about it, you keep it in the shadow, which if you keep doing that, keeps strengthening in the collective shadow, and that's when we see crazy shit in the outside world. So this is you tend your corner of the garden, what you're shooting for here, the gold hidden within the lead, but for those 3 atoms, inspires you to put compassion into action. Now look, you're Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus does not matter. That certainly has to do with legalities, being fair, justice, balance. You know the deal. You know your sign. So to put that into action, this could, for some of you, I'm sure it's going to be political, geopolitical, socially political, LGBT issues, Roe versus Wade, whatever. So you do this work within yourself. You're going to be able to put this into action in a really healthy way and with compassion, not necessarily burning down the village, which Librans are not usually known for, unlike Leos and Aries and Sagittarians. I'm a Virgo. We're cool. I'm just Leo rising. I just look like one on camera. Mars conjunct. All right, so that's the 8th chakra, beaming down the codes. Well, the next 4 chakras we're going to do with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot: the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, essentially the satellite dish, the translator, the emitter, but willpower, right? So spiritual power, mental power, willpower, what do you say, what don't you say, spit, swallow, or chew, and emotional power, your yin dynamic, your internal, your feminine energy, your goddess self, whatever you want to call it. Please take a nice deep breath, because this is powerful and lovely. Still point. As I call upon my goddesses of air, the sign of Libra, powers of the East, beloved, beautiful, balanced ones. They are so in the room. They're in my crown chakra, etc. Please, one card in clarity for the Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Because if there are cross watchers and they're welcome on the channel, know that if they apply this to themselves as well, it is going to help them heal, which is going to help the Libra Collective heal, particularly the mantra. But we'll get there. So please, my beloved, beautiful, balanced goddesses of air, the sign of Libra, powers of the East, what do they need to be aware of inside of themselves? Heart, throat, third eye, crown, because that's where the choice to do the shadow work begins, one way or the other. Their choice. Will they delay what cannot be prevented, or will they get to it? To alchemize this advocate archetype. Oh, I didn't do the shadow attribute on that, did I? No, I didn't. But you've got the Ace of Flames. Sorry. The thing with air energy with a Libra moon is that it can get very, very airy reading the collective. I didn't tell you the shadow attribute, did I? The shadow attribute, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. See, that's what triggers the knowing, the understanding, at least mentally to start with, that we're seeing that a lot in the world, right? Embracing negative causes and committing to causes for personal gain. Come on. It's everywhere. It's talk about a pandemic. That's a big deal, right? So for you to clear that and take compassion in action, and with the Ace of Flames on the inner, throat chakra, throat chakra, throat chakra, willpower, right? A seed, an ace of flames, which is wands. So a real initiatory new beginning inside of you, but that doesn't mean it's ready to fully manifest. But there is an inspired choice. By the way, the key word written on the card is creation. So an internal creation, and perhaps you are chewing on that. Maybe it's not time to put that into action just yet. But let's see, because we've got the Mythic Tarot to look at the lower three chakras, the masculine energy, the yang dynamic. The lower three chakras are relationships in the physical world, root chakra, groups, circles of friends, tribes, your genetics, your favorite band. Are you a Yankees fan or a Met fan? And, you know, that can cause arguments, right? Or et cetera, et cetera. Tribes, right? Three or more that you're connected with. A second chakra, one-on-one relationship to another person or thing. Money, sex, power, all that stuff. Solar plexus, your relationship to yourself in the world, how you present yourself, your self-esteem, your personal intuition, and whether you trust your personal intuition, which is also part of self-estimation, your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't, and particularly for an advocate putting something into action, that's going to probably factor in. Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah, I've got the tingles down my arms, like the hair on my arms wants to stand up a little bit. As I call to my gods of air, sign of Libra, powers of the East, beloved beautiful ones, and balanced. Please, one card in clarity. Outside looking in, inside looking out, Mythic Tarot, lower three chakra, one card in clarity for the Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. What do they need to be aware of? Lower three chakra dynamic to help them do the alchemy of the advocate in the eighth, making some choice, some decision, some creative, something impulse in the throat chakra. This full to new. Ooh, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, look. An ace and an ace. You got fire on the inner, earth on the outer. So the inspiration, the creativity is there, and the potentiality is there, but it is an ace, right? It's like an acorn. It's my favorite metaphor. The Ace of Pentacles is an acorn. You crack it under your heel. You can feed it to a squirrel. You can grind it up and make coffee out of it, which you do you. I'm going to pass on that. Or you can plant it, tend it, watch it grow, and over its lifespan, which is rather long for an oak tree, you will get thousands, billions maybe, of acorns from that one planted. So this feels good. This feels very, very powerful. The chakras and the tarot are on the table here. So we're looking at a real new beginning, but in potential, right? A seed. can you put your compassion into action? So the Macon Healing Mantra deck is absolutely going to be helpful for both the sign and the cross watcher. It's just sort of revealed to me yesterday in meditation throughout my day. It's like, yeah, it would make sense. Cross watchers, if you take the information in and heal you in that, it's going to certainly affect not just the Libra collective that you might know, Sun, Moon, Rising, or cross watching for, but for the world. Because we're not separate. We just look that way. All right, so the Macon Healing Mantra deck to bring this into alignment, and cardinal air, Libra, your cardinal air, creative air, so you can really work this, because it's a mind thing. Please take a nice deep breath. That's why I love mantras. They can be very poetic. Still point. I call upon a specific set of Ascended Masters. I call upon the Ascended Masters of Compassion, and there are a lot of y'all. But who better to ask, please, one card in clarity for the Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. Please, what is the perfect healing mantra to assist them, to guide them, to help them, to heal them through this alchemical process with the Advocate in the 8th, that Ace of Flames on the inner, like to have a mantra to feed that would be really, really wise. Concerning an 8 of Pentacles, inside looking out at them, outside, you know, however that works. Maybe that's something they are looking at or dealing with, a potential new situation. Please clarify, knock them out of the park. The perfect healing mantra for the Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and cross watchers is full to new. August 2022 is integrating the ego. Everything is for me, not against me. Course in Miracles says this is happening for you, not to you. But understand there are the ego, the personality, the soul, and the higher self have different perspectives on that truth. The ego's like, what do you mean? Screw this. This is horrible. This is happening to me. Right? The higher self is like, oh, please. I'm incarnating thousands of lives through souls right now. Get back to me, right? The soul totally sees it that way. It's like, oh no, this is a video game. This is a journey, right? We've been on this planet so many times before. This is all happening for us, but for the evolution of the soul, and the personality has to choose, right? So that's the shadow work. The ego doesn't do shadow work. That is where the shadow is. If you want to put it that way, the conditioning, you know, the ancestral patterns, blah, blah, blah. The soul is free of all of that stuff. So the personality is the hero on the hero's journey that does the shadow work. And it's in so many of our movies and books and stories and myths. It just is. So I'm going to, one of 4 book reads, Macon, Love His Work, integrating the ego, not making it the enemy, as a lot of old paradigm spirituality has been about, including A Course in Miracles. But A Course in Miracles has a lot of genius in it, and it is, in a way, a good chunk of my spiritual spine. Yes, I'm a witch that teaches Course in Miracles, because it's universal. It's universal. It has nothing to do with religion in that sense. Integrating the ego. Everything is for me, not against me. All right, I've had this deck for a bunch of years now. I use it personally. I have rocked back and forth in bed going, everything is for me, not against me, everything is for me, not against me, and honestly, it helped. It didn't take me all the way there. It's a journey, right? It's an alchemy. When your ego is integrated, there are no problems to fix or questions to answer. What, says the Libra Collective and Crosswatcher? There are just the aligned responses of the soul's reality, acknowledging life as fertile ground where greater expansion is revealed. In other words, we come here to expand as souls, to experience being divinity in human form. But timeline, caveman, we've been at it for a while, right? We only got cell phones now, well, for a while, obviously. But not in the human timeline, it's a blip. As you integrate your ego, every moment can be seen to be conspiring for your highest evolution instead of plotting against you. And I will say a lot of advocates can be against a thing, obviously, pro, con, anti, whatever, you know, political, social, any of it, ecological, right? So many different. The closest and dearest advocates in my life are animal advocates, right? And they are fierce as fuck. But usually there's an enemy, right? So to just take that in, right? Every moment to be conspiring for your highest evolution instead of plotting against you, right? To say, no, this is happening for me to become better, to become more of a golden advocate, which I would think the outcomes would be more golden as well. This mantra is ideal for overcoming victimhood, being more grateful, and becoming more forgiving, particularly of yourself. To get, it's a learning curve. You don't berate a 2-year-old for not understanding algebra. I'm 53 years old. Yeah, I know I don't look at things, but please don't mix numbers and letters unless absolutely necessary. I know I'm not alone in that. I'm verbal. Yeah, well, Mercury conjunct Venus in Libra, 3rd house. Yeah, of course I am. So let's move on to what I call the Party Turner deck, the Tina Turner deck. All of a sudden, the Whispers of Love comes along, and we get it's romantic, or it's a past life thing, or this or that, but I love this deck. The voices, the whispers of love from the higher selves of all involved, and if this is all just you, this is all just you. It's the higher self collective, but if there are other people involved, holographically, they have a say too. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what is the whisper of love for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading? The piece of information, inspiration, insight most needed to help them alchemize the advocate. Ace of Flames on the inner, Ace of Pentacles on the outer, integrating the ego. Everything is for them, not against them, and the ego's not going to agree with that, but the soul knows that's the truth. So, from the higher selves, even above that schemata, the higher self of all involved, what is your whisper of love for them this new to full? Receive with love and appreciation. All right. I think I get what this is about, because, you know, this is about taking action, which feels a lot like giving, but they're saying receive with love and appreciation. Receiving something lovingly from others is a way of showing love. And I do think that might be that Ace of Pentacles coming at you, telling you, yes, there may be fears. There may be a sense of a cause here that you might feel very on fire about, but you need to chew on it a little bit, particularly if it is adversarial, as a pro versus con. And please, we could spend all day pointing out how many of those are going on planet Earth, right? I'm not even going to mention any because they're so fucking sugary right now. So, you know, receive with love and appreciation, and that can be certainly compassion from others. But let's see, it's an interesting card to hit there, right? Because it definitely indicates other people, literally says others. So, one of my new favorite decks, not the new one, but the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMarco, who's got a really cool name. I don't know, doesn't she sound like a singer from New York? Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Stacey DeMarco. The Divine Animals Oracle is wonderful. It's a gorgeous deck. There's so much written in the book. I'm just going to read the first part and the magic, the verbal description, and the magic application indicated. But if you're going to take the hero's journey, right, that personality, making the choice to integrate the ego and all of that, it's nice to know who your spirit animals and totems are, though technically they're not the same thing. But to help you along the path for you in the collective and really all of humanity. Of course, they have a stake in that. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call to the spirit animals and totems for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video and receiving this reading to help them do the shadow work, pain to peace, shadow to light, toxic to healthy, lead to gold. This full to new. Who walks with them, who swims with them, who flies with them, who crawls with them. Offering them the support, the love, the power, the wisdom, the guidance, the grace, the magic, the assistance they need to alchemize this advocate. Ace of Flames on the inner, Ace of Pentacles on the outer, integrating the ego and receiving with love and appreciation this full to new. August 2022. Ooh, you got the hyena. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The hyena, card number 36. And if I'm, the keyword is fear. There's our shadow element there. Now the hyena. Yeah, I always think of the laughing hyena. And, Lion King was great. Cheech Marin, love him, always will. Dave's not here, man. I know that's wrong. No, I'm Dave. Dave's not here, man. The hyena, and this is a very powerful image. Look, I'll bring it up close so you can see. See how it's cut in half? One vibrant and alive, and the other dead and in ashes. All right, so let's do this. Here is now the shadow element. What number was that? Card number 38. Itty bitty teeny tiny little font. And written on the card, they often put the number with a bright background behind it. Hence being in the background now. 36, 37, and 38. I hope it's not a hiatal hyena. Card number 38. Breathe. Fear. Examine your fears, especially the fear of difference, of the unknown, and of death. Wow. There may be an abandonment of something, a belief, a person, a place. Remember that, because something is strange doesn't mean it cannot be beautiful or good, because people are strange when you're a stranger. This does look ugly when you're alone. We all have a job to do. We all have our own genius. And I think that's talking more about divine plan in terms of this soul power of the advocate. So you might be dealing with the ugly, the strange, like in terms of vitriol, in terms of political, social justice cacophony. Put that on a pillow. A long fucking phrase. Be sure you have the correct information to have a truthful understanding. Wow. You might be being asked as an advocate to really chew on this thing of seeing that of course you're going to come up against opposition. I mean, otherwise, what's the point of advocacy, right? To put your compassion into action that way, but usually involving causes in any way, shape, or form. So, to take this as, no, this is going to make me better. This is the soul's journey. I have to experience this, but that doesn't mean you're not supposed to feel fear. It means you're supposed to look at it, feel it. Let me read you about that. The mad hyena magic, which is a phrase I never thought, it's long, too. Oh, yeah, I think this talks about tribes in Africa, too. This book is so full of good stuff, but I can't read it all in a reading. The magic. Hyena magic is complex and is a living tradition. The hyena is its own sacred deity, much like the coyote is in Native American traditions, although it is perhaps darker in nature. Well, it's true. They are both kind of tricksters, huh? Hyenas are tricksters, boundary riders, and bringers of mystery, and are important in funerary rituals, which means funerals, in case it wasn't obvious. You never know who's watching. They may be harbingers, yes, not harbingers, harbingers of death, but they also clear away what is no longer needed. In Nigerian traditions, hyena masks are worn to signal the end of rituals, which reflects how hyenas clean up dead things, bones and all, and everything is finished. Some societies take this literally, with the Maasai of Africa leaving their dead out to be consumed by hyenas. If a corpse is rejected by a hyena pack, it means social and spiritual disgrace. But I think at that point you're so moved on. You're like, I'll be in the green room after I take off my costume and makeup of humanity. For some, hyena magic also extends to the integration and balance of the masculine and feminine energies. There you go, Libs. The Bambara, B-A-M-B-A-R-A, people of Africa employ the imagery of the hermaphrodite hyenas, who knew, to signify the transformation of a neophyte into a fully, did I get that right? Into a fully initiated man, a powerful symbol of the unification of the masculine and feminine. All right. Now that masculine and feminine part could very much be the divine feminine spark inside of you of fire, and the divine manifestation into the feminine on the outer. I mean, it could be that, really bringing all this into balance. And look, if you're doing something really brand new, something revolutionary, fear is part of it. Well, I started joining the Circle Productions in May 1st, 1998. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I had an S corporation. LLCs were not invented yet, right? I have learned my way, and sure, it's been terrifying. But I also make my own hours. I do what feels right to me, because I don't like people telling me what to do. Do you? I don't. Do you? I don't. Lovely hyena. I mean, there's a phrase I never thought I'd say. Lovely hyena. Oh, you have a lovely hyena, darling. But guess what? It's time for the new one. The Whispers of Lord Ganesh, same author as The Whispers of Love, Angela Hartfield. I love Ganesh. Usually known as the remover of obstacles. You could Google Ganesh. You could Google Ganesh. Oh, that's staying in the act. Sorry, folks. You can Google Ganesh. I'm sure he would love it. Remover of obstacles, elephant-headed Hindu god, really, of wealth and joy. It's just lovely. And it's such an honor to work with that vibration and have a tool to do it with. So, to remove obstacles, if you want to see those three atoms in lead as obstacles to gold, let's see what hits the table. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call to the beloved Lord Ganesh, Lord Ganesha, please. One card in clarity for the Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. Your clarity, guidance, and grace to remove the obstacles, whatever that may be, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, all of that, some of that, so that they can do the alchemy of the advocate with that Ace of Flames, very throat chakra on the inner, that Ace of Pentacles really kind of sitting in that root chakra. It's like, oh, it's such a potential, I can feel it, but it's not quite ready to go yet as they integrate the ego, getting that this journey that they are on is necessary, that everything is for them, not against them. And so that they can receive with love and appreciation, maybe something that feels like it's happening to them, they can do this and get and receive what? The gold within the lead. Receiving something lovingly from others is a way of showing love. And yet there is fear on the table here, a clearing away. And a thing obviously not just of loss, but of endings, right? That real clear death card vibe. Please, what do they need? What is your guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power to help them remove the obstacles to be the best that they can be this full to new August 2022? Blessings. Well, you can't go wrong with that. Blessings. Look at them. That's why I have to wear pants. All right, just showering down those blessings on everybody. He's so cute. I love elephants. I really, really do. I love elephants. It's been a while since I've been in the physical presence of one, mind you, but that doesn't mean, you know, that I don't feel the vibe. I mean, I'm a lion. Lions and elephants usually get along pretty well. It's like, okay, you're in charge of that. I'm in charge of this. Let's chill. Maybe they meet up for beers at the watering hole later. I could see that happening. 40, 42, 43, 44. Blessings. Is this all one page? Yeah, it's all one page. Okay. Here we go. Please take a nice deep breath. Blessings. Card number 14. You are divinely protected. Okay. You are divinely protected. Ganesha asks you to consider what exactly it is that you want at this time. He asserts that your desires are within your reach. The universe is conspiring to help you achieve your aspirations. Since the universe is in harmony with your desires, the how will transpire effortlessly, which is nice, which is really, really nice to hear. Ganesha is bestowing on you blessings of luck, love, and new prospects. Be very clear about your intentions at this time. Once you have identified what you desire, Ganesha will work to clear the obstacles and amp up your blessings. There you go. Withstand the temptation to succumb to self-indulgence. You are in an excellent affluent phase. Oh, that's lovely. This period will not last forever, so be sure to take advantage of it and act when opportunities rise. So it feels like this advocacy, you taking action little by little, kind of taking the journey, integrating the ego, dealing with fear, and maybe not just your own, like really seeing if there are people who are coming for you, it's not you they're really coming for. Yeah. Where am I? I lost my place. The principle of averages works in your favor now. The more you perpetrate something that you want, the more likely you are to receive that very thing, even if it feels impossible. These manifestation possibilities are endless and range in subject matter from love to money to success and to happiness. Ganesha teaches that your blessings are continuous. The realization of the blessing may not be immediately apparent, particularly with that fear card on the table. Trust that happiness and blessings are always being showered on you. What is going on in your life at this moment is external and beyond your control. Aha, hence the advocate. True happiness and blessings lie within you, in your heart, and in your soul. So seeing this from the soul's perspective, integrating the ego is really key. Otherwise, you can do a lot of damage to a cause that you really care about by getting violent, by getting weird about it, by being sneaky, by being shady, by being shadowy, if you get what I'm saying. And I think you do. We're seeing it left, right, and center, and it's all being boiled to the surface if you haven't noticed. So everybody's getting busted on everything, because it's not happening to us. It's happening for us. I'm shooting for Paradise, Planet Earth. That's my verbal version of heaven on earth, because heaven's trickery to witches. Sometimes the word's been used against us a lot. You know what I'm saying? And the underworld ain't hell. Well, Tartarus is horrible, but they let you out eventually. It really is like reform school. So the last card down, I don't know if I mentioned it, think I did, the Blessed Bee deck by Lucy Cavendish, because I love her name and I love her work. There's a hidden blessing. There's gold within the lead, a blessing with what may seem like a curse to some people. So this will give us a little bit of insight and a blessing. The blessing that's here already, and all you got to do is for 2 weeks or whenever you are watching this, to just do the best you can. Cross the T's, dot the I's, but it's not about perfection. It's about your own highly individualized curriculum and healing path. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Nice and delicate. As I call upon the pantheons of all pantheons, all traditions, lineages, and cultures, please, what is the hidden blessing? The gold within the lead of the advocate for the Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Watching this video, and receiving this reading so that they can be inspired to put their compassion into action, and maybe inspiring that in others as well, as this new element to fire. The Ace of Flames in the throat chakra, something's creative and it's just in there, but it hasn't come down into physical form yet. But the Ace of Pentacles, boy, is the potential there. Really a healthy seed. This could be a foundation of a foundation, just as an example, like the foundation for Inner Peace, A Course in Miracles, which keeps circling around this reading, so that, of course, it could integrate the ego to get that everything is for them, not against them, but from a higher point of view, therefore to receive with love and appreciation, says the higher selves of all involved. Receiving something lovingly from others is a way of showing love, even if that thing coming at you does not feel loving, to receive it lovingly by saying, well, you know, there's a gift in here, and thank you for time. And sometimes all people really need is to be seriously listened to. But you can love somebody and listen to them without agreeing with them. And that's a healthy boundary. But there may be some fear involved here, particularly with that hyena energy, which also can have, believe me, some dark laughter, some dark humor attached to that as well, particularly in my family. So to know that there are blessings here, removing the obstacles to just keep moving forward, that they're being blessed in this situation, because why wouldn't Ganesh want someone to put compassion into action in a time when the world needs it? And we're looking at a whole Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Ledger. So please, one card in clarity. Beloved pantheons, of all pantheons, all traditions, lineages, and cultures, the hidden blessing, this full to new August 2022. A blessing on a homecoming. I'm moving my home. A blessing on a homecoming. This is usually about the traveler, you know, the wanderer and all of that. Very Magrat, Garlic, Discworld, Lanker, Queen of Lanker, witches, Lanker witches. I have instantaneous, like, correlative art. That's why I'm good at tarot. Like, just clairvoyant flashes. This is where else you've seen this symbolic imagery or likeness. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to do this. I'm going to read it from the book. We do it for real, though. It's a blessing. I got my blessing cords on. I got the torch of Archangel Ariel, the heavy hitter. But then at the end of it, I'll say, you know, blessed be, the last words in this. This is a long one. This is a very long one. It ends with the words, blessed be, and then the reading is over, but then we can stick around and chat for a little bit, because I have to release the Libra Collective, even though I'm part of it, and get this uploaded, downloaded, edited, and out. You know what I'm saying? So, both feet on the floor if you can. Please, take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheons of all pantheons, use me, convey, confer, confirm this blessing. And here we go. Card number 44, a blessing on a homecoming. A blessing for a person who is returning home after a time far from their family, friends, customs, and communities. Homecoming is often anticipated as a kind of perfection, the imagined cocoon of comfort we visualize returning to, the embrace of mother's arms, the sounds of voices you know like your own, the welcoming hearth in front of which the tales that create family and bonds will be told once more when you return. But often homecoming can be a collision between the imagined home we foresee ourselves returning to, which is in truth a living thing, and this will have gone through its own evolution during our absence, and likewise, we have changed during our time in the world. And so our coming home can highlight our own new and untested difference. For the returned veteran, the seeing of their old self in the concerned eyes of relatives. For the new mother holding a child in her arms, her homecoming can be a sense of seeing the home through new eyes. Or the traveler, home from true adventure, coming home can seem ordinary. Return to an unwanted reality of jobs and bills, and to a pilgrim child. Coming home can be a time of safety after a chaotic time of self-discovery and hardship. Whatever brings us home, it never brings us back the same as who we were when we left its borders. For home is another country, a time and place, and when we drew upon its comfort while on the road, it too was quietly changing. That's just the setup. This blessing is for your homecoming. for it to be one which is open to who you have become, joyous in the discovery of the changes you have made willingly, understanding of the hurts that may have happened along the road and the paths your journey took you down. May you bring to your home the light of your soul and let your presence illuminate the home, making it new and warm once again for those who have waited for your return. Let everything be familiar and soothing, yet no longer memory's gift or nostalgia's promise. May home be full of smiles and embraces and warmth, but most of all, a sense of your place being finally filled. Because the truth is that your home was no longer truly home without you. And only your return has filled the void. Let home's sanctuary bless you with the safest place on earth, and let the home be filled with the laughter and love of kin and friend, until you can integrate who you have become while you are away with who you are now that you have returned. May your homecoming be blessed with the open arms of those who have missed you. And let the rediscovery of you outshine who you once were. A blessing, dear friend, wanderer, on your homecoming. May it bring gladness to your soul. Oh, blessed be. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. So mote it be. So it is a beautiful reading, an advocate, an impulse to create a healthy potential. Everything's happening for you. It's not against you. Receive with love and appreciation. Deal with the fear. It's necessary. Because know there are blessings all over the place here. And the blessing is a homecoming in some way, shape, or form. Did it make sense? Did you like it? Did it help? Hit the like button. Thumbs up. Help other Libras find it. This was beautiful and poetic and so of the heart. I love it. And if you want more of me here on YouTube, you know what to do. Just subscribe. I'm not stopping anytime soon, but I am going to be traveling. So if you're going to subscribe, hit the notification bell because I'm putting these out when they're done. I've got a house to pack up and move, but we haven't found the new place yet. So, we're working on it. Talk about a homecoming, right? For whatever. And certainly if you want more, if you want a deeper experience, the magic, the miracles, the mysticism, the mal, and again, giving a lot of benefits over there to my different levels of subscribers and price-wise over there. Go check it out. Come play chat on Patreon. Humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses, and soon-to-be mystics on the channel. When I get around to it, very, very happy to be serving each and every one of you there and elsewhere. So come play on Patreon if I didn't shut that thing off already. There it is. The Archangel Lyons, Archangel Lyons. Yeah, but you can call me Mal, but it's my last reading for the day. I'm going to go look at Zillow links. So if you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link in the description box. Booking a reading with Mal explains everything for you, just like Clarissa. Otherwise, this reading feels like really, really long. So let me just say, wishing you the very best and the very blessed. My 7th housers, my Libras, have at it. Do the shadow work, and I love you. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.